Hi everyone, my name is Neena Bedinti. I'll just give you a brief introduction of myself. I'm also the first runner-up for the Mrs. South Asia World Elite category, and I'm really excited to be moderating this debate with you guys today. So what I'd like to do first is just maybe go around the virtual room and have you all introduce yourselves, maybe just for 30 seconds to a minute, so we can get to know each other. Nisha, do you want to start?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Very good evening to one and all. My name is Dr. Nisha Vats, and I am here participating like all of you all, and I'm very excited to be a part of this contest. I'm already learning so much stuff from the ongoing sessions, and it's really wonderful to be here. And I'm mother of 2 kids, very busy life, so just trying to take time from that is itself an achievement.
Glad to have you here, Nisha.
Thank you.
Nishma, you want to go next?
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. I'm Nishma Mittal. I'm an assistant general manager in Holiday Inn Express and Suites. I was with Marriott before, and now I transitioned into a new brand. I enjoy fashion shows, and this time it's my 3rd pageant in the United States. I've been to several pageants in India, and I'm super excited to be here. Looking forward to communicate, interact, and just live stream with you guys all.
Nice to have you here, Nishma.
Thank
Marley,
you.
am I saying your name right, Marley?
That's right, Marley Xavier, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, so good evening, everyone, and very happy to see all of you guys. So excited for today's topic, because probably this topic is something I think we have all been discussing since childhood at some point or the other. I'm pretty sure people who are married would have definitely discussed this either in school or college, or girls who are not married, they would be probably still discussing this. So yeah, very excited and happy to be a part of this pageant, and especially Mydream Miss India pageant is a very prestigious one, and it's very unique in the sense they allow girls of all size and shapes, and that is something very, very inspiring for me. So yeah, definitely. Thank you so much.
Glad to have you here, Marley. Who wants to go next? Jalak? Jalak, can you hear me? I don't know if she heard me. Okay, let's go with Shefali next.
Hi everyone, I hope you guys are well. I'm Shefali, and I'm extremely excited for this experience. I participated in NAM in the past, and I realized that I really enjoyed the whole lifestyle and everything about it. So, yeah, I hope
Welcome. I'm sure you'll have a great time. Jalak, do you want to go next? We can't hear you. I think you have yourself on mute. Yeah, go ahead. Jalak? I can't hear her. Okay. Okay, so maybe we can come back to her a little bit later. So before we start this pageant, guys, I just want to say, just relax. I know it's a little nerve-wracking. I was in exactly the same position as you were not too long ago, actually, just a couple of months ago. So I was on the debate stage, having butterflies in my stomach, and here I am 2 months later, and I'm actually moderating a debate. It feels so good. But yeah, so just enjoy yourselves. And I just want to go over a couple of basic rules. So we're going to have 2 segments to this debate. The first segment is going to be, I'm going to ask you to tell me whether you had a love marriage or an arranged marriage if you're married. And if you're not married, tell me what you want to do, whether you want to marry for love or have an arranged marriage. And tell me why you want to do that. Okay, so that's going to be the first segment, where it's going to be one at a time, and you can speak as for about a minute and a half, and give me your viewpoint. And at this point, each one just waits their turn. The second segment, however, is going to be an open discussion. I'm going to throw questions at you. Anybody can take the question and others can counter that person. You can either speak for or against, it doesn't matter, but give us some valid points. And good luck, everyone. Shall we start?
Yep, thank you.
Okay. Again, let's start with Nisha. So tell me, did you have a love marriage or an arranged marriage?
So I had an arranged marriage. I believed in love, and I think it happened right after marriage. But and also like just before marriage, like we were kind of dating and all the stuff. So growing up, I grew up in a very traditional, like Indian culture, Indian family, middle class family, and I was kind of like very studious from beginning. So just being in school and studies in colleges, I never had time to kind of explore people around. And when the time came for getting married, and my parents said, "Do you have anybody for yourself?" And I said, "No, I don't have one. I don't have time for all that." So they're like, "Do you want us to look for you, or you want to go ahead and find yourself?" And I said, "I feel like, given that you have experience, seen the whole world, I'll be more comfortable if you find somebody for me." Because I'm kind of like a little nervous because I'm just like growing up and just getting the world and not knowing people enough, I think was my concern.
But so you had a choice though, so your parents
I had a
actually
choice. I had a choice.
That's good.
I had a choice, and so how it happened is my parents kind of like had a matrimony site, and they said, whoever you feel like could be your partner, you can go ahead and just try and chat with them to see how is the compatibility, and from there on we can take it on. Right. So I was a person who was kind of basically moderating the whole matrimony site, but it was my choice who was kind of like talking to. But ultimately, it was my parent decision, and it was like a mutual agreement with their family, my family, and it was lovely, and it has been a lovely.
Are you happy? Are you happy with the way it went?
I'm more than happy. I'm more than happy. I'm really satisfied, and I think I got the best partner in life that I could ever expect for.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I hear an echo for some reason. Do you guys hear an echo? Okay. Marley, let's go to you. Tell me about you.
So I'm right now living in Toronto. I'm 28 years old. I'm not married, right? So let me start with this thing. So for me, if you ask me whether you like love marriage or arranged marriage, like what I want to see me after 5 years down the lane, I want to be in a happy relationship. That's my first goal. So should it happen through love or arranged? Honestly, I would love it to be a love marriage more than an arranged one. And the reason why I say that is during love marriage, I feel you are more responsible for that relationship because you are choosing that, like even I know like many of my friends have got a love marriage. So most of the time, the first thing majority of the parents in India say is no. Even before, you explain about the whole person, this is what they say. The reason they think that is parents, I feel they care about, parents do care, like their whole life revolves around us. But I feel Indian parents have this kind of mentality, even when we are adults, even when we are earning our own money, they think that we cannot decide our own life, which is not true because I can definitely tell you that, there are divorces in both love marriages as well as arranged marriages. Yeah. So you can definitely not say, it's just because you selected your life partner, it cannot be right. So, and I feel like when you select your partner, I feel you know yourself better than your parents. Even though they care for you, they have grown you up, they are not you. They are not you. They cannot be you. I firmly believe in that. And to me, it is true because, they have their, own different likings. You have your own different kind of likings. Yes, definitely they can step in and help you, give you their advice of what they feel is right or wrong. But if you select and you take responsibility of your life, especially love life, and especially the, the partner who you're going to spend your life with, I think that would be the best choice. So yes, I would vote for love marriage.
Okay. So you think it's a personal decision. Okay.
Yes.
Next, let's go to Nishma.
So believe it or not, I am more than 50 years old. Ta-da! And I had an traditional arranged marriage. I did not see my husband. He did not see me till the day of engagement.
Wow.
And after engagement, we only had 11 days before the wedding. So in traditional North Indian families, you're not allowed to meet your husband. he would going to be husband, and he would ask me if I could meet him. My mom agreed to meeting 3 times, but my grandma and my buas and my aunts and everybody threw a fuss. So she would sneak me out of the house. But then when I came back, my dad would question, did you do anything? Did he kiss you? You're not supposed to do anything. So just make sure, beta, nothing happens. You know, you have to come just the way you go, okay? So those question and answers, yes, it was traditional arranged marriage. To this day, it's been 28 years. We've been married and we're happy. We have 2 boys, 23 and 18. And here I am going for a pageant. So yeah, absolutely. I would support arranged marriage, but for my kids, I do want a love marriage. I do want them to know the person a little bit beforehand. We accommodated and adjusted to each other a lot after we were married. But if you know a little bit of the past, a little bit of the family beforehand, I think it would give a little bit of a nudge in your relationship. So I do believe in partial love, partial arranged marriage, you know.
A nice combination of the two. That's good.
Right.
Jalak, I hope we can hear you now. I can't hear you. Can anyone else hear her?
No.
I can't.
Okay. Jalak, you have to fix your audio. Do you want to try logging in with your computer? I don't know. I don't know. She can't hear us either. Okay, I'm going to have to go to Shefali next. Shefali, I can't hear you.
No.
No.
A lot of technical difficulties today. Can't hear you, Shefali. I don't know, I'm increasing my volume.
Maybe she can log out and log in.
Yeah, can you log back in? Can't hear you. Okay. Let's just give them both a couple of minutes. Hope they get back in. But I covered everyone else, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hello? I can hear you now. Good. Go ahead, Shefali. What do you support?
So I'm not really that, like, I don't have any choice. Any opinions on the choices. I feel like it should be more of my decision when it's the time. And like, I'm leaning towards love marriage, but I want both options to be open for me. Just knowing that both of them are open makes it like feel a little better, and like it, it's like helps, it's like assuring that you have both of them open. So I think you need both of them, but it's just your personal decision.
Okay, so you're saying that it should be a choice. Either you can go with an arranged or a love. It should not be restricted to one or the other. Okay. She back. Jalak? I think she logged out. Okay. Okay. Let's go to the next segment. So I have some interesting questions for you guys. And this is open. Like, I'm just going to throw the question out at you and anyone can jump in and go with that. Okay. So why do a lot of Indian parents oppose love marriage?
So can I start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I think the first main reason being, when we are growing up, like when we are, like usually when we are in a relationship or something, to be honest, we are not as matured as them. We are still learning a lot. So most of the time they think that we may not be very clear. Maybe it's just infatuation or it's just attraction, right? So, and also, for example, sometimes, when falling in love, we don't see about the person's social status or anything, but, we can understand from a parent's perspective, right? Like they want us to go up in life. They don't want to go down and struggle, irrespective of we love the partner or not. They will never give our hand. Like they will, like for example, we're all girls today, so like our parents would never give us to a guy who's struggling with his life, especially in his career, which is, I mean, I can understand from their point of view, right? So when it comes
But think
to
about it, when when you choose your life partner, you're like in your
right,
20s and he's in your 20s too. Don't you
right.
think that they should give enough time, for the person instead of just judging that he's
Nina, I have a very good point for you. You're absolutely right. Yes, we should give the guy a chance, and he's still struggling. But I have seen cases where later on the girl is like 25 or she's 30 plus, she's still waiting for the guy, and I have seen them get married and living happily. But I have also seen cases where the girl waited and waited, and the guy said tata bye bye at the end of the day because he's Rajput and she is Jain. So this is like live example I'm telling you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at the boy's side, the boy was very happy. And that girl, she had to face a lot of things in her life. If you ask me, like her 25 to 30 was filled with stress because she had, because of the partner she had chosen in her early 20s. So these are the main things I think Indian parents are very scared of, because these are things which is happening around us. And it's not like uncommon,
What
so
does
I
anybody
think,
else have to say to that? Yeah, go ahead.
So I believe there are two facts to that. First of all, our society is shaped by what we see in media and what we hear and see around ourselves. Say, for example, if you hear of love marriages around your community, your society, the first thing people is, oh, love marriage, oh, this girl like did that, and and all this stuff. So I think most part of our family like mindsets kind of go with what society thinks. And secondly, parents have been like making a decision since we were child. They decided our school, they decided our education, they decided like a lot of stuff for us in life. And when it comes to a life partner, it's a big decision. And when they see it's a love marriage, they kind of already think, oh, this is already against us to begin with. So they feel like they are not obligated to this beginning of the relationship, and they feel like we are not involved in the beginning. So why we should be like supporting you guys now when you're already decided at that point?
So isn't it fair to say that every parent wants their child's happiness? So if that's what they want and the child has chosen somebody to be her life partner, why should they oppose them?
So I think in love marriage, people like especially parents are kind of like a little afraid of saying that they're already happy until they really see them being happy in a relationship. Like people,
So they don't trust them.
they don't trust them. Like as in they're not grown up, they're not mature enough to understand the particularities of a relationship, and they want it to live through, and then probably like accept it, and how things goes after.
Nishma?
So as somebody said before, there's every parent wants their child to succeed better than what the parent succeeded. Mm-hmm. So if my parents did masters and they earn $1 million, per year, mm-hmm. They would expect a child to go up way above masters and earn maybe 2 million. When it comes to financial strata of the other sex, whether it's a boy or a girl, most of the parents think, and they know they're more mature, they've gone through the struggles, they've gone through life more than what a child has. So they believe, yes, love marriage, if you step into it, you're going to fall in love, you're going to be all wooey, and you're not going to focus on maybe the maturity or the essence of it, because it's the hormones, because mm-hmm. it's the timing, it's the age, mm-hmm. and they've gone through it. So they maybe, I believe in my heart of hearts now that I have a 23-year-old, I do want him to succeed better than how I succeeded. I do want him to earn better. And I have approved of love marriage. I have said, yes, beta, go for anything that makes you happy and comfortable. But I do want him to build a career. I want him to be able to support whoever comes in his life. I'm not saying I'm totally against an arranged marriage if he's gonna step into it, but a love marriage per se in India is still not wowed upon just because of several factors of literacy, poverty, financial age, hormones, everything built in.
I would like to add on that.
Yeah, Shefali.
I think our parents would, of course, want our happiness, and if the love marriage works,
Can you speak up a little bit?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Not so well. You just need to speak up.
A little louder, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I think that what they think is important is, of course, the child's happiness, and they think that success would be happiness. So they don't rely on the maturity of their kid just because they have more experience in almost everything than their child would. So of course, if the love marriage works out, then they would be more than happy, but they rely on their own personal experiences more than they rely on their child's maturity, just because they've known the child for all their life. So.
Okay. My next question is, do you believe in love at first sight? And do you think someone should marry if they think that, it was love at first sight and they don't need to wait and they can get married? What do you think about that? Yeah, go ahead.
So if you ask me, do I believe in love at first sight? I believe in attraction at first sight. So if I see a person, if I like the person, yes, I do like him, there's no denial to it. But to love him, I think I need to know him, because it doesn't matter if he and me are like, we have completely opposite characters, doesn't matter. But as long as we are compatible, he's able to, accept me and I'm able to accept him, not make a big deal of our faults and trying to be, like, for example, if I love watching, a soap on TV, he may not like it, but he will sit with me just because he wants to spend that time with me. And the same with me, I will sit with him for a football match, which I am not at all going to enjoy, but I enjoy the time with him. So the love comes not at first sight to me, but definitely attraction comes at first sight to me. And to me, I need that attraction at the first sight to even try to, see if he's compatible with me. And from what I have known, I think that's how majority of the people are, unless you are already attracted to his character by something, some special deed, something happened, incident happened, they really helped you out, or they really gave you mind-blowing advice, or been a part of your family, done something good to you, maybe then that time attraction doesn't come, play a role there. But yeah, I don't believe in love at first sight, but I believe in attraction at first sight. Yeah, and sometimes it's nice, to be attracted to people at first sight. So yeah.
Nishma.
I totally agree with Murli. It's not love at first sight because love has several components. It has care, trust, mixture of feelings that lead you towards love. The basic component is, a like. When you like a person, whether it be the first chemistry, the first vibe that you get with a person, that's the base of it all. And yeah, that is the stepping stone. So if you feel that that stepping stone has been stepped upon, then yes, love might be able to be attained. But yeah, there's nothing like love at first sight. It's always that likeness, that attraction, that infatuation, the look part, per se. And then comes the vibe, the chemistry, and then care, love, trust, all that comes in together.
So you think it's, time will tell, and not to rush into it just because you think it's love at first sight.
Right.
Does anyone else have a different opinion? Go ahead.
Yes, can I speak?
Yes, go ahead, Jalak. Nice.
Sorry, I'm late.
That's okay.
Hey, I believe in a love at first sight, but it's not like a necessary to love at first sight. Sometimes I believe it's waste of time because people don't think like, okay, I give you the one example. Okay, love at first sight. So one person have a love for me, but that doesn't mean like I have a love for him. And the wasted time, and then people was wasting like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, but sometimes they realize, okay, it's waste of time. So it's not kind of it's love at first sight.
So you're saying it has to be mutual for it to be love.
Yeah.
Okay, good point. Yeah, go ahead, Nisha.
So I do not totally disagree with this love at first sight concept altogether. For me, it is more important for me to be comfortable in the space that I'm sharing with the person, for him to be able to give me the time, the space, and the understanding that I expect him to have when I'm around, to be able to like give me freedom to speak, freedom to dress what I want to dress, freedom of things I want to do, which are again in a limit, of course, like which we can do and grow together, doing things. So I totally believe that it's nothing or like love at first sight. It's just growing together at all times in all spheres of life.
Okay. Yeah, Shivani.
Yeah, so in like the first meetup or like the first moment that you see the person, you don't know every detail about the person. You don't know about their likes, dislikes, and all the details that you would learn over time, which is important if you're
Shivani, can you speak up? I'm sorry. Yeah,
which is
better.
important which is important if you're going to be in a relationship.
Oh, it's low again.
Can you hear me?
Come a little, yeah, closer to the mic. Yes.
So all those details are probably necessary because you need to know the person before you are actually engaged in a relationship with them.
So you're saying that it can be at first sight because you don't know too much about the person, right? You need to give it time. Okay. Okay, I agree with all your points actually. Okay, so one thing, it might be a little controversial, but don't you think passion and chemistry and, physical attraction is also a very important factor in, choosing your life partner? So that pretty much doesn't exist in an arranged marriage, right? So why do you still think, or why do you still would support an arranged marriage versus a love marriage? Yeah. Go ahead.
See, I did not support arranged marriage, but when you asked me these questions, so I have seen people. See, the difference between love and arranged marriage is actually comes only with like when you do a love marriage, right? You actually know the person first before your family knows, right? And you know a lot more than them. But in an arranged marriage, it's like the parents know more about the family and like whatever information they have gathered about the guy, his biodata, like what he has studied, how does he study, and like how his family is and everything. But even in an arranged marriage, I feel you will get the kind of person you are attracted to. See, probably like what Nishma said, like probably before they did not allow them to talk, but now if you ask any person who is doing arranged marriage, they are exactly roaming like how people in love marriages do. But they don't get the time or the kind of experience like a love marriage, because they're always on their best behavior. Even their fights are not like as if you are in a love marriage, because in a love marriage, when you start, you start either as a friend or even as a love, but then you try, you fight with them, you're yourself, because then you will have fights, like they'll say, I want to break up with you and stuff like that. If you ask any person who has done love marriage, they'll always tell this to you: we thought of breaking up so many times. It's
right.
true.
But isn't that in a way better, because you're seeing the person for who he is,
That's
rather than
definitely
someone
better.
putting the best foot forward?
That's
Yeah,
right.
go ahead, Nisha.
So I totally believe marriage is a gamble, whether it's a love marriage or arranged marriage. In love marriage, people are best behavior. When you are meeting them out there, they are just showing their best face forward. And when you get married, things change, and it's like you knew it from before, but and it's like a honeymoon phase for a couple of years. When that start going down, like it started getting over, and then you see the true face of the person. It's a different thing altogether. Like even in arranged marriage or love marriage, it's like eventually how the persons evolve over the years and how it comes out is more important. Like as a person, is he a good person? Does he like really give you space? Does he really respect you as a woman? And I think that those are most important things. And I think attraction and all the stuff, they are definitely there, but it only happens when you really want it to happen. When you're not ready for it,
So
you're not
does
ready for it.
anyone else think passion,
Yes.
chemistry, and physical attraction is important?
Can I speak?
Yes, Jella.
I agree with Nisha, but in a love marriage, individual people to choose their partners. In arranged marriage, I agree. While in case like arranged marriage, the individual preferred partner chosen by them family. But for many modern people, today's generations, the arranged marriage does not much attractions. So that was meaning is like love marriage. I agree. So love marriage, they have attractions, but in like first few years. But in arranged marriage, you can see the choosings by partners by family, but like not I'm talking about like an instant in a like a year or 2 years, but if they time spend time with the husband or the life partner, they have attractions with them, so you should have to give them time.
So you're
So
saying it grows with time, and
yeah,
eventually you'll find your
exactly,
spouse
yeah,
attractive.
of
Okay.
course, it's like a mutually, I'm not
But it's a
worried about
gamble, right? What if you don't?
exactly, yeah. So I
Nishma,
agree
you
with,
had something?
yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off. I didn't
yeah,
mean to.
it's okay, yeah, I'm done.
Nishma, did you have a point to make?
Yeah, so passion, chemistry, and vibes, they're all needed, whether you want to go jump into love first or jump into marriage, you know. So many times you would see that there's passion, you have a successful love relationship, and then you jump into marriage and it's a beautiful relationship. And if you have the basis of passion, the chemistry, the vibe, that when you first see the boy or the girl whom your parents have chosen for you, you jump into a wedding with them. In our case, that's what happened. We got engaged, and the light in each other's eyes lit up. You know, we knew we were made for each other. And then we jumped into marriage and it all worked out. So those are like the bases. You have to have that first vibe, the first chemistry. You have to know that, yes, this is going to be my first friend, you know, first and foremost friend when it comes to building a relationship.
So my case was a little different. So before even I met my husband, I met my future in-laws. They came to my house to see me first, like, how do I look, how do I look, how do I walk, how do I sit? And to be very honest, I was really impressed the way they treated me like as a human being. And I felt like if that's the base, that's the foundation of a boy, it's naturally going to be a good person, you know. And
so you were attracted just by those qualities.
Yeah, because for me, my back of my head always, the way parents are, the way any human being treats other person also reflects how they belong in a family environment, you know. So I felt like they really treated me nice, and I felt like this is really good, and I feel like the son should be at least not equivalent, but at least par to what they are at the behavior. Again, it was new, but again, when I spoke to my future going to be husband, I felt like the same vibes as I had with my in-laws. So I felt like it was like more a familial relationship than just a arranged or love marriage.
Okay, so it's not like crazy passion or chemistry, but it's these little vibes, the positive vibes that you feel.
It all started once you get married.
Yeah.
Once you start experiencing love, basically after marriage.
Okay, Shafali, go ahead.
I agree that it's important to like know the person before you're getting married to them. I think all it takes is commitment, because even if you're married to them and you know it's not what you expected it to be, it's still it takes communication and dedication, so that you can work out something and compromise at least, because you are stuck with them for the rest of your life. So commitment is definitely an important thing for both relationships, because of course in love marriage commitment is necessary, but also in arranged marriage too, for change and for growing. So.
Don't you guys think it's better to, marriage is a huge decision, right? I mean, it's something that, like she said, you're stuck with it for life. So don't you think that it's better to marry someone that you know rather than a complete stranger? Even if you don't know that person 100%, when you think you're in love, but you don't really know that person, that's still better than marrying a complete stranger as an arranged marriage, don't you think? Yeah, go ahead, Marlene.
Yeah. So, Nina, I feel that when you do, see, for example, like, I see Nishma and Nisha, they have done arranged marriage and they're living very happily. So, I'm very happy for them. But if you ask me, this present generation, right, a lot of things have changed. So if you now go, like at this point also, yes, I'm not saying arranged marriage is totally bad, but I feel if you are in love marriage, I want the person to share with me certain things, like which he wouldn't have shared if I was to, get arranged to him and then marry him. Like, for example, I've heard like people telling me, after marriage, after 6 months or 1 year, the guy tells, I had a girlfriend, serious girlfriend in college, and we broke up. And then the girl gets, oh my God, why didn't you tell me before marriage? Stuff like that. I feel there's nothing wrong in telling it later or before, but I just feel that kind of brings me more close to him, to, me knowing him as a person. That kind of makes me more comfortable in the relationship. That love marriage, that gives me an assurity. I know him, very well. Like, I may not be blessed with very good in-laws, like what Nisha said, right? But if I know that my guy, my husband is very good with me, to me, that's all really matters at the end of the day, because, it's just between you two guys, not your in-laws or not your kids, ultimately just you as a couple. So yeah, I think it's better to know the person more. Yeah.
Okay. Nisha.
So I totally believe, so as I said, like, no, it's totally up to individuals how they feel. Like, today's generation believe more in love marriage than arranged marriage. But again, as I say, marriage is not just a marriage of two people. It's a marriage of family. Like, after a couple of years, when you have your kids, when you have your own family, you look up to your family back there. You look for support, you look for that kind of guidance, you look for the mentorship, you look for the time that your kids can spend with them. So in a short note, like, I would like to say that arranged marriage, because I had it and I'm really happy about that. I think it gave me a lot of chance to live up to those things, to be able to happily enjoy being in a more familiar environment and be able to share things, So
it didn't matter that you didn't know that person at all, but things worked out for you.
So for me, actually, it was not a push to have an arranged marriage. So basically, it was like I knew this person after talking to his parents. So I kind of spoke to him over Skype for a month before I literally said yes. It was not like, okay, I'm blindfoldingly saying yes to this arranged marriage. But I kind of went through this person for a month every single day. I spoke to him, I saw him. And when he finally flew down to see me and we spent, a couple of days together, then we decided, okay,
Okay, so in your case, you actually did get to know him a little better. What I'm talking about is, like, people don't know that person. They just have to say yes, like the day or the next day or in a couple of days' time,
Yeah. Yes, that's true. I think by certain like meetings or discussions, you can totally understand the vibe, if it's going with you or not. Some people can, with experience, they can definitely tell it. So yeah, that was different in my case. So I kind of had a chance to share some time.
Yeah, Shefali, go ahead. I can't hear you. Sorry. No. Jalak, let's give her one more second to adjust her mic.
Sure.
Sorry, Shefali, I'm gonna move on. Just see what you can do with the audio in the meantime, okay? Jalak, go ahead.
I'm dislike with marry with a stranger, because I have a two example especially in my life and in my friend circle. Because the thing is, like, I agree with the arranged marriage. I'm not like disagree with them, but the thing is, like, when we go and marry with the guy and when we meeting with them, okay, then first of all meetings is everything is good, they're fine with us, and then after what happened is with like a long distance and they don't talk, and then after it's someone coming them life is other girl, and it's really hard to deal with this people to marry with strangers. So I'm not agree with them. If you wanted to marry with the stranger, okay, I agree, but okay, you have to spend little time with them and then after you have to say yes.
Okay, so yeah, basically you're saying even if you don't know the person, get to know the person better before you say it.
Before you say yes, yeah, because
So
example in my friend, because my friend was in India, she married in 2016, so still in India, and her husband in Atlanta here, and it's long distance, she cannot come here, and now it goes on a divorce. So it was like really like a bad condition. So then we can learn in something in life, like we have to know the people before we're gonna get married.
Yeah, Shefali. Still no. Can anyone else hear? No, right?
No.
Uh,
Yeah, I hear her voice.
Go ahead.
A little bit.
Oh, should I leave?
Yeah, that's good.
No.
That's good. We can hear you now.
We can hear you.
Yeah. Sorry. So what I wanted to say is that if it's forced and the individual doesn't get to like pick necessarily, then if it works out, then it's more about like their parents, like they're thankful for their decision. But if it doesn't work out, then their parents are going to be guilty for their whole rest of their life. So it's important to know the other individual first and not.
We have somebody else joining in. Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. Okay. Now I have an interesting question. So, what advice would you give, a younger person, if they had to convince their parents that they wanted to marry someone? How would you advise them to convince? Yeah, Marley, go ahead.
See, the first advice, like I'm 28, but even I have friends who are like 22, 23. The first advice I give them is don't waste your time on love when you're doing your undergrad, especially 18 to 21. Don't try to find love. First try to get a degree, concentrate on that. Have good male friends or girlfriends, but don't, rush into love. Even if you're so attractive or passionate into it, don't do it. But after that, when you're doing your masters or when you're started working, when what exactly you want to do in life, at least 50%, then yes, you can start taking your relationship or your friendship into the next level. And when you are sure, like, okay, this person, even though they have some flaws and even I get into some fights with them, but I like this character about him or her, and I think she will be very compatible with me and we will have a lovely relationship, and we can turn it into a family. At that point, I think you should go and have a talk with your parents. And I feel that parents can sometimes really feel offensive when you have like when you're saying so bravely, like, oh, I want to marry him. They get so offensive. They're like, oh my God, how dare you talk to me like that? Where did you get the guts?
That's something I don't understand, though. I mean, isn't that a great thing that your child has found love, or at least they think they have? Shouldn't it be a moment of excitement for them? That's something I just don't get. But I do understand the old way of thinking. A lot of people raising their hands.
For me, the biggest difference between arranged marriage and love marriage is most of the arranged marriage, like 98% of the arranged marriage, happens between people of same religion, right? And same mother tongue. Sometimes the caste may be different, right? At least that they can tolerate. But most of the time, 98% is same religion, same mother tongue. But when it comes to love, it is not that majority, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is what makes the parents so pissed, because they're not able to.
They think it's immature to fall in love, basically. They think
yes,
emotional.
They think in the longer. Yeah, they think in the longer run, it will create problems. It will, which is true. Let's say I'm marrying a Muslim guy. Tomorrow I want to name my kid. He will say he want to keep a Muslim name, or he will say he want the child to be a Muslim. I will say no because I'm a Christian, or things like that. From a parent's point of view, I understand that. But I think if you want to really convince your parents, you should sit down, talk to them patiently. They can get angry, accept it, try talking to them, tell about this person, the good things about this person, make them meet, like maybe the mother first or the dad first, and then together, slowly. It takes time. But if you really love that person and you believe your life will be best with them, I think it's worth all the effort.
Okay, Shefali.
So, since love is blind, it doesn't have like an age, religion, whatever. So I think parents should understand that when you fall in love, it just happens. You can't control that, and they should like understand that and think reasonably. Like maybe it's an issue about caste or religion, but at the end of the day, your child is happy, and even if something happens with the relationship, at least the experience was like it counts, and it'll help them in the future, and they won't hopefully repeat that mistake. So
I love your point, Shefali. That's great. Yeah, Nishma, go ahead.
So I believe if I think my son is ready, he has a girlfriend, and I know my child the best. I know if he's matured enough to take a big decision for his life or not. If I feel he is ready and he's matured enough, I will absolutely support their decision. You know yourself as a young adult, if you feel, and you may or may not be able to gauge that because of maturity, because of experience, but absolutely reach out to your parents and tell them what you feel. If the parent opposes, try and think positively. And if the parent does not oppose, of course, it's a positivity for you. If they oppose, talk to them. Sometimes a parent can be wrong too. It's a changing generation. It's changing times. I am old school doesn't mean the whole generation needs to be old school. There's different perceptions. Yeah, and we all learn. We all learn over time. You're never wrong. I'm never wrong. You're not always right. I'm not always right. It's just changing times that make us adapt and accommodate to certain perceptions that we've had or we're building, So over time, I believe everybody understands. If you really feel you want to go ahead and marry somebody, go for it,
You know how when someone has a love marriage, right? And if it doesn't work out, you just tell them you're on your own. The parents, that's what they would say. You're on your own. You wanted to marry this person and it didn't work out, so you take responsibility. Now my question is, do parents take responsibility if an arranged marriage doesn't work, and should they? Yeah, go ahead, Nisha.
So in arranged marriage, basically, it's like two partners, like husband and wife. They basically take responsibility first on their own, because neither of the party want to disappoint their side. The girl wants to try the best, not to disappoint her parents, and the boy also tries the same thing. He tries to do best behavior just to make sure that his parents isn't show bad in the whole picture. Again, because more families are connected in marriages, and people try to kind of fix things, try to adjust, try to compromise on things to be able to make it work. So that's what it is.
Okay. Any one of you, just go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay. Thank you. So I really believe that in arranged marriage, two families or two sets of parents come together first before the boy and the girl. And when the two sets of parents come together, they look into not just their own education, financial status, the backgrounds, the religion, the whatever, all the multitude aptitudes. They look into each other. I can tell you from my background, I come from a different class. I come from a different hierarchy of North Indian families than my husband. I come from North India. He comes from UP. So we do have a cultural difference. We do have very big differences. But my parents saw he's educated. My in-law saw she's educated. They'll be able to make their life together. They'll be happy together. And when we came together, of course, we had difficulties. We would fight every single day. It's not a pleasant situation at that time, but you always have the support of your families. You always have that backdrop of your family that says, you know what, beta, I got you married. I'm going to take care of you. If it breaks, of course, I did tell my parents, if it breaks, it's all on you. It's all because of you. You chose the boy for me. You chose the in-laws for me. And this is what happened. And luckily, we didn't have to go that route, but we could have, we could absolutely have. So I don't know if there's a right or a wrong in this status.
Shefali, go ahead.
I think what the issue with Indian culture, especially in marriage,
No, can't hear you too well. Sorry.
Can I go ahead?
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's I'm agree with this. Like it's alliance between two families, and when we got in arranged marriage, then the first of all the family meet and they look our background and everything, and then after they decide, okay, we can go for the further step. So I agree, because if there's something happen in our relationship or something like that, our families and also our parents are be there like, okay, I'm here for you. And in a love marriage, I do not agree, because love marriage we choosing partner by ourselves, so that is a problem.
Mhm.
It then after in like last time we realized like we did a wrong thing in our life.
Okay, Shefali, you could try again one more time.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
thank you.
I think with the issue with Indian culture, especially in marriage, love marriages, is that because they think that you made the decision solely, not include like their parents weren't involved in the decision. They leave the whole thing up to you. But in any other situation, always they're gonna be wanting to know every detail. They're gonna be like in everybody's like they're gonna want to know every detail because of gossip and everything. But when it's about the marriage failing, they'll say that it's up to you to handle, because
Fix it.
this is your marriage. And yeah, so
Okay, guys, the last round. I'm going to have you guys, take turns and just in 2 sentences, just tell me what you think should, everyone do to make your marriage happy and last a lifetime. Okay, so let's start with Murali again. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the first thing is we all need to be, look at the other person. Like we always forgive our own mistakes, right? At the same way, we should also try to understand the other person can make mistakes. So we should try to forgive it and, give them another chance, not just break the marriage just because, there is some faults in that person. And the second thing is we should understand that, there will be ups and downs in a relationship. You should compromise. And also, yes, the other person should compromise. It should be a balance of that. So I think when these two things happen, the marriage will be positive and it will be happy. And the first thing I told, like there are faults at everyone. There is a very simple thing that people say, even we fight with our own mothers so much, right? All the ladies here, we have a lot of disarguments. So when we have those kind of disagreements with our own mother, then just imagine how much we'll have with our partner. So it's as simple as that. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so compromise and understanding.
Yes.
2 sentences. So your advice in 2 sentences. Go for it, Nisha.
So I think for a marriage to be successful, first important thing is we have to be able to learn to live with other person, be able to adjust and compromise at times when it's needed. And second thing, there has to be love. There has to be love. There has to be that kind of spark at all times, that no matter what happens, at the end of the day, you have a loving person beside you. You have a love beside you.
So love and compromise for you. Okay, next. Who raised their hand? Shefali, I see your hand up.
I think that 5 things matter: cooperation, commitment, patience, understanding, and maturity. With all that, doesn't matter who you're married to. I think that those are the key things that would matter for saving a relationship, along with growing in it too.
Okay. Janak, what do you say?
Yes. I'm thinking we have to be like understand the people, understand the husband, or understand in a relationship. Main thing is understanding and compromise and let it be. Like if we have the mistakes or something like that, we have to try to be understands. Like okay, we can sort it out.
So don't hold grudges. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
Nishma.
I believe to do the 2 bases of every successful marriage. The first one is communication. You have to be very open, very smart about communicating each and everything, whether it be a truth or a lie. The second basis, I believe, is forgive and forget. So anything and everything, mistakes, errors are going to happen. Forgive and forget and live your life happy together.
Wow, that's great advice from all of you. And I think we had a very invigorating debate. I loved it, and I hope you guys did too. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Can I give you 2 examples?
Nina, you were a fantastic host. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. You guys were awesome participants too. I mean, I learned so much. 1 hour, I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and forgive my husband for all his mistakes.
Yeah, please do, please.
Sorry and thank you at all times.
Thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
And
Thank
wish
you.
you good luck for the pageant. And like I said, you guys are already winners. And we hope to have like a really good contest and some exciting, like exciting prizes and crowns and tiaras. I can't wait for the whole thing. Yeah, we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shivali. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye.
Shefali. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody.